What if I told you the only thing stopping you from getting the best physical fitness, improving your overall health, and feeling and performing better in your work life is your laziness? It's something I would say if I was one of the dumbest coaches to ever exist on planet Earth, real talk. And if you click on this video, you know who you are, and you know that laziness, quote unquote, laziness is far away from the identity of a career oriented person. Far away, behind Mars. Okay. Laziness is something you cannot put a description on a person working in a career field being the reason why they couldn't stick to the workout program. It's not laziness, it's deeper than that. Okay. And a lot of coaches, a lot of people, they make this mistake when trying to help a career oriented person maybe getting good fitness, physical shape, improve their overall health, feeling and performing better at work, is they try to prescribe them with a program which is not personalized to them, tailored to their lifestyle. That's the problem. That's the problem. When you get two people, person A is the 19-year-old kid who works in a 9 to 5 job in some fast food, maybe Chick-fil-A. You know, his workout program cannot be used by a career oriented person because that kid has no obstacles which make following the program harder. Okay. And people say, hey, are you trying to say that, these people, career trained people, don't have time? Bro, it's not about time. There's obstacles which were uniquely designed, I'm gonna get onto that, to make them push away these things, make them not prioritize these things. Okay, I'll get to that very soon. So as I'm saying, a kid working in a Chick-fil-A fast food restaurant, his program is not suitable for the career oriented person's life. It's not tailored to them. Okay, because career oriented people have obstacles, which is the reason why they struggle to do these things. They struggle to get in shape, to prioritize their health, to do all these things, to prioritize good posture, movement, all this stuff. Okay, let's just take person 2. He works in a medical emergency where they have ambulance, like an ambulance person, and whenever somebody gets hurt or injured, they rush there and they give them the medical care until they can get to the hospital, basically trying to keep them alive until they can get to the hospital and get some serious medical care. Do you think a general workout program will fit that person's life? Okay, it's not. Why? Because there's no personalization, there's no system which suits their lifestyle. Okay, what's an obstacle which would probably push away an emergency service ambulance person from prioritizing fitness? Unpredictable schedule. Okay, those guys, they have no clue when they might get a call saying, hey, some guy got in an accident, we need medical emergency, aka 911. Okay, they have no clue. They don't know what's next. So imagine you prescribe them the program of, hey, just hit your little workout, and it's okay, I have my program set at this time. 911, what's your emergency? Workout missed, workout cancelled. But tell me this, does that mean they're lazy? No. It means that the program didn't suit their lifestyle. So it's your job to see, hey, what type of solution can I have to help me still prioritize fitness with such a lifestyle? That's a question you should have. So let me tell you guys about my personal beliefs about the overall current world we're living with the work-life, movement, work-life lifestyle. Is that I believe that it was designed to destroy us physically, destroy our condition. This system was designed to keep humans at a poor condition, to keep humans coming back to the hospital, to keep humans spending so much money on hospital care, hospital money, all the stuff. This is just my belief. I just want to really share. I really feel like it'll really give someone a good overall perspective change, and also is to help you see where this video is also going, despite the giving you tips and tricks on how to really implement a system that suits your current lifestyle. But it's designed for that. It's designed for that. We look at fast foods. Why do fast foods even exist? Did like do the does the person who created this fast food era know that these foods are unhealthy? They can lead to brain fog, they can lead to sluggishness, they can lead to diabetes, weight gain, all this stuff. They can lead to overeating because of how fast digesting they are, and makes you constantly hungry. You see, they know those things can make you hungry. It's designed to keep you trapped. In my belief, don't get spooked out. This is just my belief. Okay, designed to keep you trapped. Cigarettes, alcohol, drugs, all these things are there, sold to us. Keep us in this cycle, Probably taking some pills to just try to flush out and push down the health issues that crept up from the overall lifestyle we've been living, the overall system we've been put in, that people don't even know how to escape. Okay, literally, literally. Same with careers. It's designed, the way it is designed to let me just say, there's two sides of it. Maybe it's designed, maybe it's not properly thought of. Okay, let me just have both sides of the spectrum. Designed, or maybe it was not properly thought of. Simple, before I can really have a whole massive world war. It's just my little belief and thoughts, and I'm not saying that this is the actual truth of it. Maybe it was designed for that, or maybe it was not properly really thought of. Because when you really think about the overall design of the system, and how it's keeping a lot of career-oriented people stuck with this health crisis, it's insane. That's what I'm saying. I'm kind of together with the belief that it was kind of designed to do this, because we look at the long hours of desk job, no movement, just always in the desk, which can lead to so many health issues. The food around us, junk food, vending machine, junk food, no healthy options. you know so like, it's insane. It's genuinely insane. Like, don't you think it was kind of positioned, the amount of work pressure, the amount of mental fatigue, which leaves a lot of career oriented people coming back home drained, no time to cook, which leads to bad choices. Probably drinking to just let them stuff go, or probably, ordering their fast food, whatever that's fast and easy, you know, whatever that's fast and easy, missing the workout. And one fun fact that I'm sure you guys know is that the 8-hour workday was actually originated from the Industrial Revolution, whereby workers were working 13, 15 to 16-hour workdays. Yes, pretty brutal for overall labor work in the factory days, in the factory, just factory labor work, okay? And those guys just felt demolished. They're like, wow, we cannot do this anymore. 16-hour work days is just like, it's just a gun to the head. Like, wow, dude, I'm just pull the trigger either ways. And they made an overall movement. Okay, they made an overall strike to make sure that they got what they needed. And during that time, it was like, it was just mostly the factory workers complaining because it was just too much. So they asked for 8 hours of rest, okay, 8 hours for time for themselves, and 8 hours of work, okay. And this is now the thing that is widely known globally, the 8-hour workday now, the one that's normalized. But people really don't realize that, you know, and take note, me saying this is not gonna change anything. It's not gonna just magically change the world to start working 3-hour workdays. No, I'm just giving you guys some insights, giving you guys some good perspective changes, etc. But you know, during those times, there wasn't really careers like now. I think it was like the 1930s. Like the world didn't really evolve that much, where there's like crazy amount of real estate people, tech corporate person, influencer, businessman. People really, it was just like big business owners and corporations during the time, in my guess, and just employees. So I just really feel like and believe that the 8-hour workday wasn't really, because the 16-hour workday could have been something designed to keep them in such a rabbit hole, but the 8-hour workday was chosen by the people who got fed up of the rabbit hole. And yeah, now people are still suffering because the 8-hour workday is not actually really meant for people just working regular corporate jobs that require a lot of mental thinking, mental decisions, mental work. It's not healthy. The research is here that humans aren't really meant to be working for that long. That thing was originally for factory labor workers. So the mistake I really feel like people in the industrial revolution, in the black and white days, was they never really thought about future careers. Like, hey, let's think about other careers. They just wanted something quick and now. They just wanted to feel relieved ASAP, and they never really thought closely about what about other career fields. And take note, my argument here is not saying that if our workday duration was shortened, all these problems we're facing would have disappeared. It's not really the only side of the sword, if that makes sense. It's not the only side of the paper. There's two sides of the paper. There is, if it was shortened, things would have been better, because a lot of the most common obstacles career-oriented people deal with is constant decision making, always doing decisions, handling new tasks, new projects, etc. A lot of mental thinking, trying to overcome business struggles, a lot of stuff. So doing that for a long duration, that can affect you, lead to mental drain, and lead to very unthought of decisions because of the mental fatigue, unpredictable schedule. This does push away workouts, plan things to help prioritize fitness and overall health. And yeah, if it was shortened, there would have been way more predictability, because there are career fields where clocking off comes down to when there's no fire. So you don't know when fire might come in. Fire might come up. Hey, yeah, we have this, that happening, and now you have to stay longer and do that. So I feel like it would have been way it would still be way better if it was shortened. There would have been more predictability and more scheduling of when should they commit to the overall prioritization strategies. Intense physical labor, people are just drained, feeling sore, not feeling recovered, and we can all agree that working an intense physical labor job for about 2 hours is better than 8 hours. You follow me? But on the other side of the paper, we still have the work overall environment, which include colleague birthday cakes. Whoever's working in the corporate world, there are birthday days of your colleagues, and sometimes you don't want to have beef. Okay, you just have to eat the cake, which is about 1,000 calories, and boom, your whole diet is wrecked. 10 steps back. Travel, which leads to no meal structure. It's just travel, you don't even know what to expect, etc. No time or energy to prep food, and Mr. D food is the best option you can do. There's just both sides of the paper. So just saying work duration should just be reduced isn't really a very, what word is that, a very factual approach or a statement or a good argument, if that makes sense. In this video, I'm going to be helping you as a career-oriented person be able to craft your own system which suits your lifestyle. I'm going to be helping you diagnose your overall problems, see the goal that you want to hit, and find and use solutions to help get to that goal. Okay, just helping you think for yourself, because with helping career-oriented people, a lot of the work comes down to mental work. Okay, thinking through things, analyzing through problems, and trying to see the solution which fits your lifestyle. Okay, you cannot prescribe, like, I don't know, an intense physical labor person with like who lifts boulders with like a deadlift program. It's crazy. It does not match. So there has to be thinking and diagnosing and uniquely prescribing and assessing which works for you. So in this video, we're helping you do that. And yeah, let's get to it. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Scobie the Gym Rat. And yeah, let's get to it. But before we can get into problem solving, I just want to spill out my story. Some of you guys could probably relate, see where I'm coming from, see my overall vision of what I'm trying to make out of this. So I grew up as a very speculative kid. I was an introvert. I'm still an introvert. I'm quiet, always thinking, always analyzing things, always questioning things, especially growing up as a kid. I was a very speculative kid, and growing up with a single mom, I used to just wonder why were, you know, not that my mom was like crazy out of shape, but like I used to wonder, look around, like why are elder people out of shape? Like why are they out of shape? Is this some type of like threshold where like once you reach this out of shape, I used to wonder why. Like why were they out of shape, especially those who were kind of quote unquote seriously in careers, you know? I used to really question that, and I couldn't really understand or pinpoint the real reason, you know? And growing up as a kid, seeing, your elders taking medicational pills because of, the system that they just could not know how to figure out, it did something to me as a kid, okay? Whenever your peers clock off work, I need medication for stress. I need medication for my blood pressure. This and then it just made me really think, what's going on here? Is this normal? When I get old, would I have to be like them? Out of shape. Um, taking pills, medication pills. To combat our health issues. And yeah, I was just like, this cannot be true. And it's like it really kind of affected me because it's like, whenever your parents come back from home, work was just draining, and they're just suffering with like extreme decision fatigue, after work. And as a kid, you look for attention, mommy, look at my new toy, mommy, do this. And it's like when mommy and daddy is just so drained from work, and they're trying their best but they cannot, it affects the child also. Okay, children want to be validated by their parents. Children want to be seen, you know told, wow, great, you know and another thing on top of that, with those mental fatigue after work, convenient meals, eating whatever, just ordering this bad stuff. I did gain weight as a kid, but it's like, you see how such a system can really affect not only you but those around you. you know it can affect those around you. And it's like, you know health is very wealth. Health is absolute wealth. And it's really important for you to just make sure that you find this system that you can stick to, which will help prioritize your health, your fitness, you know because these things spread. Health is wealth, trust me. Because I had uncles that was so heavy onto drinking after work because the work was just so whatever, and they just wanna get on the boost and just get yoked, and it's like, with the overall unhealthy work life demand and also the unhealthy lifestyle habits after work, it was just a mess. It was just a serious mess on somebody's health, and it just led to early deaths, which did affect me and my family. You know, I mean, he was making a lot of money, yeah, crazy, but it's not here anymore. You know, so I'm just giving you this story to see that, yeah, cool, elevating in your role, in your career role, I understand that career-oriented people really want to elevate in their role, succeed with what they're doing. Maybe they have a cultural background of, you know, coming back home with success and etc. degrees. You know how the traditional homes are, but health is actually also one of the most important part about it. You know, it's really one of it, bro. Because when you're in your deathbed, it's like those upper roles, those money, those big figures, they don't matter anymore. What matters is trying to stay alive. So why does it not matter for you right now? You know? Cool, yeah, I have money, my kids will be well off. It hurts, man. Money ain't everything, okay? I bet your kids or your whatever, your family would want you than the money. Want you as the person. Money can only solve money things. Money can just buy clothes, house, rent, electric bill, you know? So hopefully you're able to really get some type of, you know, perspectives that fitness is really not just, oh yeah, fancy lifestyle, I'm looking handsome or whatever. It's more than that. Plus overall the way work life is so demanding, the way people come back home fatigued and not even recovered enough for the next work day, it's like even fitness and optimizing healthy habits, those things improve your overall work life. You feel way better. It doesn't feel like you're pushing a straight brick, you know, pushing a straight brick. So all I'm saying here, I'm really talking a lot, is that it's not just about getting big biceps, da 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 da. Okay, it's about feeling better, performing better, and just living a very better life, because there's always another layer to things. And yeah, and generally following on with a fitness plan is really not that deep, because there's just so much over complication in the fitness industry, and it's really not that deep. My mom um wasn't really able to lose weight. It's just surprising how she was getting coached by a personal trainer in the gym, yet that personal trainer who had like a NASM or whatever couldn't get her to lose weight, but I did. I mean, of course I'm a gym head, but it's like she just wanted to lose some weight, and then I really gave her a clear understanding of what clean foods are and portioning, and what this, how many calories this has, because I mean my mom is like like 50 50 around in her 50s, so it's like for calorie tracking is just is not something that's for her. Calorie tracking and just weighing the grams is not something for her. So just one of my strategies I did was just help her understand, what calorie dense foods are, what like high calorie foods are, etc. Telling them, oh yeah, sweet potatoes, you could probably eat two of them and not get that fat. Rice is okay, just portion size, just teaching them about portion sizes and knowing what's the high calorie dense foods, the high volume, low calorie foods, stuff like that, and which helped her a lot, because she is a social worker, she travels all the time, flies all the time. So this helps her whenever she's at a hotel and food comes over, she can look, okay, that's chicken there. I can remove the skin. I heard that skin can have a lot of excess calories, etc. Have the skin right there, have some water. Oh yeah, juice, extra calories. Take note, I'm not saying you should have a crazy strict diet. Okay, I'm just giving you how the analysis was. Okay, knowing that, okay, this food is packed with so much calories. But just stay away from it. And if she doesn't really know what she's eating, she just finds something she probably knows, maybe some peanuts or just drinking some water. So you see how far that got her. I think she lost about 6 kg. I don't want to put my mom's face on there because I didn't really ask for permission to show her face. I'm just giving you about how simple little tweaks can solve your problem. Because, yeah, man, most of the time it's just more of a lack of information or knowing who to trust, even though we have all the information in the world. This video is for career oriented people, and do you know how many careers are they? There are thousands of them. And as I said early on in the video, I said that, with such people in such fields, giving them a program is not for them. Okay, they have obstacles than the average Joe working in like Walmart. No hate to Walmart, but the average Joe. Okay, so since when, you know, I cannot just give you a generic workout just like that. It's up to you, and it's your job for you to diagnose, personalize a system that's suited for your lifestyle. Okay, for your lifestyle, because everybody has different career fields, so there's no way. You get what I mean? Career-oriented people cannot walk with a generic workout because they have obstacles an average Joe does not have. So what does that mean? Personalization, look at the person's lifestyle and diagnosing the obstacles, seeing the gaps that they can implement new strategy on is required, which means that I cannot address every single person on every single career in the world. Is impossible. Even if I did so, people have unique problems. Some have insomnia, some have this, that, some have this lower back pain, which stops them from being able, so many different unique problems. Okay, so take it like this, that it's your job to be able to look through, look at the bottlenecks, diagnose, personalize. But don't worry, I'm gonna give you a template right now which will make it easier to do so, which will make it easier for the credit system which matches your lifestyle and helps you get from point A to Z. Okay. So step one, okay, you have to ask yourself, where do you want to be as an end goal? Okay. With fitness, with overall health, and with feeling and performing better at work. Okay, take note, this is our offer. So this is just the model we're gonna be speaking on. I don't know, because yeah, there's probably other things like, excelling your role in your career, but we don't really conversate on that. We're not gonna help you like excel your role or achieve this status in a career. Just fitness, health, feeling, and performance done. Okay, so just understand that this is the overall model we are addressing in this video. So as I said, step one, ask where do you want to be as the end goal. Okay, let's start with fitness. Let's say you want to lose weight. All right, you want to lose weight, you want to lose some pounds, but your career is just so much, and you keep telling yourself, no, when times get less busy, I'll be able to stick to. That's the problem. You're trying to follow a program for the average Joe, not a program for you. Okay, you need to have a system that helps you stay consistent in the least busiest days and the most busiest days pronto. Okay, so okay, pick one overall goal, okay? And then acknowledge and realize, I'm trying to lose weight. What is the actual obstacle here, which is stopping me from losing weight within my career space? So, with the overall fitness category, there are factors which overall help you get there, which help you achieve fitness, which are being in a calorie deficit or a calorie surplus, okay, training, okay, and energy expenditure, movement, getting your heart rate up, etc. Okay, so that means under each factor, we're gonna look through the lifestyle and figure out what obstacle is causing you to not execute those factors. Okay, so if you don't really catch what I'm saying, is you have a goal that you want to hit in fitness, okay? So in order for you to hit that goal, you have to understand, not understand, you have to know what are the obstacles stopping you from getting there. But it'll be very messy if you just start off from losing weight. You don't know where to start, you don't know where to look at. So that's why there's these factors that I have created, which is not curious. I didn't create calorie deficit, but easier factors for overall problem analysis, problem identification. Okay, calorie deficit or surplus, depending on your goal. For fitness, there is it's either you're building muscle or losing muscle. Either building muscle, losing weight, fat, or just maintaining. literally. So the calorie stuff has to be in there. Calorie deficit, calorie surplus, okay? With also gaining muscle. Training, okay? Overall gaining muscle, also muscle helps you lose weight, etc. And overall energy expenditure, getting your steps in, overall, these things are the big factors. So which means that whenever you want to look at what's stopping you from reaching your fitness goals as a career oriented person, you got to make sure that these three factors are taken down one by one. Okay, so boom, 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 boom. um let's get to the actual big boy, okay? And here's the overall formula. Let's just get into the examples of how would it look like taking down these three factors one by one, okay? So let's say your overall goal is to lose weight, lose fat and build muscle, okay? Lose fat and build muscle. And you looked through, how's my diet looking like? My diet is trash. I'm struggling to actually maintain and be able to lose fat and build. Okay, maybe lose fat and build muscle is more of recomposition. So it really comes down to either you're just eating above maintenance or too below maintenance. Let's just stick with losing weight so I don't confuse myself, okay, with the fitness science, etc. Let's say losing weight, okay? And you most definitely know that one of the biggest factors of weight loss is what you put in your mouth. Pause, okay? So we look at the factors. Factor one is this mic. Factor one is calorie deficit. Okay, so looking at your overall career lifestyle, how a day looks like. You ask yourself, where in a day or in a week causes me to go off my diet so I can lose weight. Hmm. Example one, let's say you work in a corporate place, there's too many office snacks. The solution for that will probably just be getting healthier snacks and making sure that you're surrounded with healthy snacks, some apples, some fruits around, instead of the casual high calorie dense little snacks around the office, right? And maybe another example, not maybe another example, but another example is, let's say you are a business person. That's a career, being an entrepreneur. And the big main source of connection is bonding. And there's this thing called food bonding where, for some reason, people just connect with each other with food. They can eat food, laugh together, after that, make some deals and all that, food bonding. And if a business person really wants to stick to their fitness goals and be able to lose weight, and they realize that our problem is just business dinners, aka food bonding, it's like, how am I gonna navigate this? Because the connections are made on the dinner table with the couple of business person, etc., whatever fields they're in. How can I solve this? Another solution, you know, eyeballing. Okay, there's something called eyeballing because it'll be very weird for you to having to bring a scale and just like, unless you really do not care and you know that that's not gonna really affect anything or whatever, do it, okay? But make sure that you have eyeballing sorted out, where it means you know your macros, okay? And have a good sense of what calorie dense foods, what low calorie foods are, the types of low calorie foods are, what high in volume and low in calorie foods are, like sweet potato. Let's say in the business dinner, you ask the chef, hey chef, is there any sweet potatoes around? You probably have three. You can have a good estimate. Okay, that's probably like uh 30 grams of carbohydrates. You see, so you gotta do your homework on that. And what other example can I say of calorie deficit? Let's say you clock off work, you realize that, what's something that's holding me back from losing weight? Whenever I clock off work, I'm super drained and I just order junk food. I can't cook, I'm tired to cook. Have a default template, okay, whereby it's a meal that you are, and take note, you have to be calorie, you have to mess with that eyeballing technique, the calorie estimation, and what's calorie dense. You have to have it locked in. okay, and have a default meal which you have did and made when times where you had better energy, usually in the morning, so that when you exhausted, you just open your phone, go to a Chipotle, and there's a meal there which has a lot of protein. There's a salad there. Order it. Boom. It's like probably liked, saved. It's like a bookmark. Boom. Less. You didn't make any decisions. You didn't use your brain that's already fried from work. So you see where I'm going with this. Okay. You see where I'm going with this. And let's say it's training. You don't have time for training. You just find that, man, it's just training is whatever. Okay, have plans and strategies suited for the situations that you experience. As I said early on, don't try to wait for times where it's less busy. Create a system which helps you stay consistent in the times which are extremely busy. Okay, so you struggle to have time to train because things get hit up anytime. You think you're done, then you get a call saying, hey, yeah, send us this little email or document or whatever, and you're just fucked. Have a plan that for those times, when I want to go to the gym for 1 hour, I want to train with good time efficiency, training with workouts which are very high impact, which target a lot of muscle groups, in a very short amount of time, especially like compound workouts, which target more muscle groups in a short period of time. That's a strategy, and then when you have time, when you're free, that's when you can do your isolation workouts, etc. Things like that. Okay. Energy expenditure. Struggling to get your steps in. How can you get your steps in? How can you? Because we all know it's awkward. We're in a corporate place. Who literally has the time to just decide, I'm gonna get like 3,000 steps right now, just walk around the entire office, go at the rooftop, calm down. No. Look at how you can incorporate this within your overall lifestyle. Let's say you in the office, I'm just basically using office a lot because my mom works in corporate, so I'm able to really have a clear vision of how things look like in terms of the day-to-day work life. So let's say, hey, office, and you get a call, hey man, can you drop me this document file, whatever. Okay, yeah. Now steps are involved. Don't take the elevator, take the stairs. Okay, you're getting your steps in without getting your steps in, if that makes any sense. Okay, whenever you in the morning, you park your car a little far away so that you have more distance walking to the building. Okay, and take note, if your diet is trash, this thing does not count. It does not count if your diet is literally horrible. Take note. So make sure you fix the calorie deficit part before you can get into training and all this stuff. So hopefully you guys got a good glimpse of how things are. So here's the formula, what you've been waiting for, on helping you craft a system which is suited for your lifestyle, your career, rather than following a generic fitness plan from the average Joe who works in Walmart that has no idea of the overall obstacles that career-oriented people deal with. Even though working in Walmart is kind of still a career, career people deal with obstacles. So the overall goal is to have solutions which are very tailored, which are very thought of, which help combat those obstacles so that you can be able to reach point A to point Z, aka reaching the goal that you want to hit. Better health, better fitness, feeling better and performing better at work and outside, probably having more energy for your kids after work, etc. Okay, so let's get to the overall formulas. Number one, know your career. Okay, so whenever you're trying to do some research, etc., you're able to, it's just good for research. Okay, because a person that probably works in a physical intense labor job, they might think that, okay, since when I lift with my bag, I need to be training deadlifts after work, which isn't a good approach. Exactly. You might think but there's a lot of lacking with knowledge in terms of fitness and mobility work that a lot of people have. They just really underestimate how much knowledge they just lack with this training, meal prepping, dieting, etc. So yeah, number one, know your career field. Number two, identify the overall goal that you want to hit in fitness. Okay, I gave you guys a three category framework whereby these frameworks are the essentials needed to achieve whatever fitness goal that you're trying to achieve: calorie deficit or calorie surplus, training, and energy expenditure. Okay, meaning that whenever you're trying to find the obstacles, you're able to hit them one by one instead of being messy. I already spoke about it earlier that it's gonna be very messy if you just jump out of there. Just start from there in trying to find obstacles for fitness. You're just gonna be like, where do I even start? First start with the three categories. So yeah, pick a fitness goal, whatever fitness goal you have. Physical goal like losing weight, staying healthy, like having just a fit body overall, being in shape, building some muscle on your frame. Yeah, and then you identify the overall obstacles. Okay, the obstacles stopping you from getting to that goal. Let's say you want to lose weight. You really look at what's something in my overall work life which is causing me to really not be able to, you know, where you are, you're in category one, the calorie deficit or surplus category. One by one, as I said, what is really causing me in my lifestyle to not be able to, lose weight? Because losing weight also comes down to what you put in your mouth. Pause. Where does it actually, where does it actually happen? Where does it actually start that problem? I do notice that whenever I'm in work, things just get hectic. A lot of calls, a lot of emails being sent, and then I just look at the time. I'm starving. I have no energy, and I need some food ASAP. And I just need some food, bro. I need the energy. Like if I don't work, I'm gonna get fired, dude. I don't have time to be worrying about. Oh yeah, this might be junk food. I need food now. So that's an obstacle. But what obstacle is it? This lack of meal structure. Okay. So you don't confuse yourself and say my obstacle is that whenever it's 5 p.m. whenever it's 3 p.m. I find myself so busy, and that's the overall situation of the obstacle. Your situation of the obstacle. Okay. Because as I said, the obstacle is lack of meal structure, and there's different situations of lack of meal structure. Different business meeting, travel, so many situations of it. So solutions, which are suited for lack of meal structure. Having a flexible structure whereby you use meal templates rather than rigid menus with uncalculated, calories. Whenever you really have energy, maybe in the morning to do things, then afternoon, uh, have whatever food you order, Mr. D food, be able to just do some research and know about calorie dense foods, high in calorie, foods, low in calorie foods, high in volume, low in calorie foods, etc. And know about this portioning thing, about eyeballing stuff, because like I bet you, bro, I can really eat foods under probably 400 calories in KFC. You can order a KFC bucket, and have knowledge that chicken skin holds a lot of calories, a lot of fat. To remove the chicken skin, just eat the chicken, and maybe the KFC come with a little bun, and you can just have a little estimate of how many, you know, grams of carbs it has and calories. But there is a calorie track on MyFitnessPal which you can just type in, log in the meal, and it's simple. Log in the meal is simple. So I just say, with the flexible structure solution to whoever is looking forward to just have a quick and easy go meal in busy times or times where they don't have any mental energy to try to craft a meal or cook a meal. Let's say if it's like Minecraft, or if whoever knows Minecraft is, it's like have a time where you just have a certain meal that you have calculated. You have calculated, you've maybe logged in the meal, logged in how many calories it is, etc. And know that this is the meal that I'm comfortable eating repeatedly. I'm comfortable whenever time gets busy, I can just order up because I already know the calories. Because it's gonna be very frustrating that like every single time you're gonna have to type in how many calories it is. Right, you have already, like, rather have a meal that you bookmarked or liked or saved or something, and you already calculated the calories through MyFitnessPal. Simple. And then whenever those times happen, you execute that strategy. So another solution is environmental setup, where you keep appropriate foods accessible at work, at home if you work from home. Um, so you don't really lead to the convenient route of just ordering wherever because your time constraint, etc. You know what I mean? Because listen, you can have any fitness goal, but really, what really builds the physique is the kitchen. What you put in the mouth. Pause. Okay, you can never outtrain a bad diet. Put that in your mind 24/7. You can never outtrain a bad diet. So boom, with environmental setup, let's say your situation is there's a lot of food snacks in the office. Take note, I'm not coaching only corporate people. It's just corporate is the thing that I can only think of because my mom works in the corporate place. So it's like only thing I can really think of because I've been there and I've seen how life is in there. So yeah, food snacks, etc. And those things are very tempting. You can just snack on. There's just this weird feeling which I'm gonna do research. I'm gonna put the research on where like you just want to snack. Like when you're working on the desk, you want to snack on a lot of things while working. I have a bunch of chips and all that stuff like that, and just have some fruits around them, little snacks or rice cakes there. So that you don't really have temptations and just snack on foods which are very calorie dense and wreck your overall progress. Okay, and another solution is eyeballing. you know Having a clear understanding of macros, calorie dense, low calorie, and high in volume, low in calories, basically a scanning, filter thing. And this is very useful. The situations for this type of solution is, let's say, you're in a business dinner. Sorry guy, like I cannot think of any, because there's so many careers out there. It's just like, this is what I know because I coached my mom, and like I working the corporate, flying around, dinners, stuff like that. It's like that's the only thing I can really think of right now because I've seen that. So yeah, business dinners, knowing those calories, knowing, oh, they have some sweet potatoes, like that's very high in volume. Eat a lot of sweet potatoes. And not get fat because they really have low calories, things like that. Knowing that, oh, chicken, man, good protein. Chicken also, like, a protein does burn calories. You know that, okay, this can burn some calories with the slow digestion. So it's like, sweet potato, it is slow digesting, it should burn calories also. And yeah, it's very useful. Oh, I have estimation fitness, my fitness pal photo taker. That's very kind of valid, very kind of valid because you don't know the oils in the food and stuff like that, which can bump up the calories extremely. So make sure you practice the eyeballing thing. And let's say another obstacle is you just sit down and think that, what's keeping me not able to really get to my goal? Oh yeah, my work day is very long. There's long hours in there. There's random things that pop up, and it's like nothing is predictable. And when I come back home, I'm just slashed, drained, finito. So the typical common solutions that you probably have to solve for long hours of work and unpredictable things is having a time efficient training, whereby you just reduce unnecessary volume, prioritize exercises that provide the most stimulus for the available time. That's why there's this thing whereby you train exercises which hit a lot of muscle groups at once, because there's something called isolation exercises and like compound exercises where like they hit the whole back. That's like good time efficiency. Your whole back just got trained off just one exercise. Things like that. Another solution is decision reduction. So it's so important for you to have some templates because it's so overwhelming when like you have work and then you have to try to figure out, oh, the gym, what are you gonna train? Da 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 da. Nah, nah, nah. It's like whenever things thing about it is like people really try to wait till life gets less busy so they can be consistent, but you gotta have a formula, a system that's suited for all, like the chaos that you know that can possibly happen, and which is not too much strain or thinking on your mind. Like you have, you know, template A, template Z, maybe whatever obstacle could be like, you know, late order or something, or whatever it is, just have your unique naming on there so that whenever things happen, you just pull it out, follow, simple. You don't have to think and just, okay, I have to do this. It's so overwhelming. So overwhelming. So overwhelming. So see that in the training, see that in the overall calorie deficit, having, let's say, something happens where it's like you are going to have a very busy week, have a template whereby you're now eating at maintenance calories. You're not eating above maintenance, which is a calorie surplus, eating more or below, because you cannot eat below because of your current situation, you know um and yeah, and usually those situations are probably like funerals or something like that, where it's like there's just, no foods, but you can still eat less though. But you get what I'm trying to say, right? Having an overall template for all the type of fires that could possibly happen, so you can be consistent and not just be full consistent for 2 weeks and just fall off. Like what is the point of the first 2 weeks though? What is generally the point? So with improving your overall health, the formula and helping you guys craft strategies which help, you know, better your overall health. It's still the same formula as before. It's just with health. You gotta ask yourself, okay, what career am I in, and what possible health risks that are called from my career that I do not know or aware of. Some people have no idea of the carpal tunnel syndrome, no idea of lower back pain and all the stuff, no idea of how training lifting with one side as a intense physical labor person can cause muscle imbalance. Look through that, okay? And once you found that those things, and you found that your lifestyle do does have, those what word can I say, the lifestyle does have a lifestyle which promotes to those health risks, okay? And you also have little problems like shoulder or whatever that you also want to fix. Find strategies to fix that, okay? And whenever you find strategies, you know see how you can add those strategies to your lifestyle, and see the obstacles stopping you from getting there, and use the overall same framework of, obstacle, oh yeah, structure of this, time constraint, etc., and then integrate it together, okay, with the hashtag number three. I think number two step though. So yeah, that's just how it is. Also feeling and performing better, same strategy. Ask yourself, what are you you know, willing to achieve with feeling and performing better inside or outside of work. This is just feeling more energized after work or throughout the workday. Think what could be the bottleneck causing you to not feel that. Maybe it's a bad diet, because food really plays a good role in your overall performance. I found that the times, because I used to eat dirty, very dirty and just messy, you know, junk food and clean foods will make a massive difference in your overall performance. Trust me, 1000% trust me. Clarity, focus, etc. Those foods, the junk foods, they're very weird digesting, and they create brain fog, too many carbohydrates, like blood sugar spikes and all that stuff. Too much. Like if you eat pizza, bro, you're gonna be fighting through your overall work performance. Brain fog will be insane. Or if you eat an apple and all those stars, clean foods, you just feel more sharper. You're not like so full, and you're dying with trying to not so fall asleep. So you see how it is going with that. If you're a career-oriented person looking forward to achieving fitness like losing fat, building muscle, losing fat and building muscle, losing weight, or just achieving a fit, in shape body overall and improving your overall health. And take note, I am not a medical doctor. I'm not gonna be, giving you coaching which will cure cancer or cure diabetes. Just prescribing with strategies which will overall avoid future health risk and consequences because of your overall career demand and lifestyle, and overall having strategies to promote better, efficient health. Okay. Or you're looking forward to feeling and performing better in and outside of your workplace, feeling more energized, sharper, not sluggish. Make sure you message me RULA, okay? RULA on Instagram. It's Scobie the Gym Rat. The Instagram link will be in the description. Okay. Looking forward to achieving health, fitness, feeling and performing better in and outside of workplace with a strategy, with a system that doesn't combat that lifestyle but flows with it. Okay. Doesn't combat with your lifestyle but flows with it. Okay. Message me, ruler. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe to this channel. See you in the next one. Peace out.
Bye. Have a great time.